Hi all, I've been eating this wonderful Moroccan stew for years. It's a vegetable and chickpea stew. The recipe's been handed down from my sister Sandy, who's been making this recipe for, probably 30 years or more. My whole family loves it, my friends love it, and you're going to love it too. It's really easy to make and it's so nutritious. You can add some meat to it. You could add chicken or pork or beef or anything you want, even some seafood. So please enjoy the video, and I really hope you get to make this one soon. It's a real winner.
Peel and dice 1 large onion and then put aside. Peel and mince about 4 garlic cloves. Cut your sweet potatoes into about a 2-inch cube. This could also be butternut squash if you'd rather. Now dice 1 red pepper and 1 green pepper into 1-inch cubes. Put these aside also. I'm going to be using both summer squash and zucchini. Cut them into 1-inch pieces. I'm adding some green beans to the recipe. All you really have to do is get rid of that little stem and don't cut the other end. It's perfect. Now cut these into about 1-inch pieces. I have about 3 tomatoes. Make sure they're nice and ripe and take off that little stem part and then cut them into small 1/2-inch cubes.
I decided to add a little bit of cilantro to this recipe. It isn't in the original, but I love cilantro.
I always give my herbs a little water bath. That way all the dirt comes out. Then I pull the herbs out. Cut and juice half of a lemon. I love to use the fork method where I squeeze the lemon up against the fork. You'll get lots of juice out of this. Place about a 1/2 teaspoon of saffron into a little bit of warm water, say about 1/4 cup. Look at how yellow the water's turned already. Add about 3 tablespoons of olive oil to a pot and cook your onions and your peppers till they're soft and tender. Stir your veggies up and don't forget to add about 1 teaspoon of kosher or sea salt. It really helps with the flavor. Now comes the beautiful Moroccan flavors. We're going to put coriander in here and also some ground cinnamon. This is just going to turn this stew into magic. Now it's time to add about 3 teaspoons of your chopped garlic. That's actually 1 tablespoon if you didn't know that. Cook for about 5 more minutes till everything is really tender. So let's make our pearl couscous. I'm heating up a little bit of olive oil in a pan and I'm adding 1 cup of pearl couscous. We want to toast this first. It's time to add our sweet potatoes to the pot. Stir them up with all of your ingredients that are already cooking, and these are going to take a little while to cook. And then we want to cover this so the sweet potatoes cook well. Here's our toasted couscous. Boy, this makes all the difference in the world in the flavor. Now we can add our liquid to it. Bring it to a quick boil and then put a cover on it and turn it to simmer. Now it's time to add your chopped tomatoes to your tagine. This is going to really add a lot of beautiful moisture and also flavor them. I forgot to add a little bit of salt to our couscous. That's a really important thing, so do that, about 1 teaspoon. Now we're going to add that saffron and the water that we soaked it in right into the stew. So just mix that well, and we're also adding our lemon juice. You can now add your chickpeas, which I've rinsed. Throw them right into the pot and stir them in. Let's get a lid on this and cook it on low heat. Now it's time to make our hot pepper sauce. We're going to have 1/3 cup of olive oil, about 1.5 teaspoons of ground cayenne pepper, and 2.5 teaspoons of cumin, and 1 garlic clove minced, and a touch of salt. Cook your hot pepper sauce for about 5 minutes on low heat. It can really burn with those spices in it, so be careful. This is going to be your drizzle on top of your finished Moroccan tagine. Our couscous is done. Always make sure there isn't any water left on the bottom, and if there is, put it back on the burner, but you can see it's perfect. It's time to add the string beans and the squash in now, so stir them in very well and then put the lid on and keep cooking until your sweet potato is soft. I just test my sweet potato by putting a knife through it. It's not quite ready yet, but almost there. When your knife goes through the sweet potato easily, you know your stew is ready. That's the hardest vegetable, so that's what you really want to test. Now that my stew is done, I'm adding the fresh cilantro. Make sure that your heat is off when you do this. If the cilantro keeps cooking, it will lose its beautiful flavor, so always do this even with fresh basil. I'm also adding some salt at the end. I tasted it and it really needed it, so you can do that, and you can even add a little bit of pepper, but I didn't do that.
So our Moroccan vegetable and chickpea stew is done, along with our pearl couscous and our hot simmering sauce. So let's put a plate together.
You'll want to put a bed of pearl couscous on the bottom. This way, when the stew sits on top of it, it will soak up all the beautiful flavors. So spoon some of your beautiful Moroccan tagine on top of the pearl couscous and make sure you get some of those great juices that are at the very bottom of the pot. This hot pepper sauce will just finish off the dish like you won't believe. If you kept it off, it would still be great, but boy, is it delicious, and it's not that spicy. What a beautiful presentation, and the flavor's so delicious.
I can't wait to try this. This dish never fails to be fabulous. It tastes great every time I make it. You'll really love this. It's an exotic dish that you can add to your repertoire at home, and it's also extremely healthy for you with all of the vegetables and the chickpeas in here. I hope you get to make this. See you soon.